Hi, me again. Look, here's what happened. I filmed a reaction video to this chapter and it was mind-blowing, obviously, but after long nights of editing and working through my issues with Premiere, I got hit with a copyright strike over and over and over again. Hopefully I will revisit my reaction video because I basically lost my mind. Hi friends, how are you doing today? I hope that you're having an amazing day today. My name is Kyber if you're new here, and I'm here to talk about Star Wars with you guys. I'm very excited about this episode, so let's go! I just want to give a little disclaimer. There will be spoilers for Clone Wars and Rebels, so if you guys haven't seen those, maybe you should skip this. If you don't care, let's get right to the video. We are talking about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5, Chapter 15, or... Chapter 13, The Jedi, and we are introduced to Ahsoka Tano straight away, and let me tell you guys, as soon as I saw her white lightsabers, I lost my mind. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on Ahsoka Tano so you can understand why this is such a big deal for so many of us. She was first introduced in the Clone Wars TV show as Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. She quickly became a fan favorite, and she was originally added to add more depth to Anakin, but she ended up becoming the perfect foil to Anakin in every single way. It's like poetry, it rhymes. She's framed by one of her Jedi Padawan friends, and she has to fight to clear her name, and she quickly becomes aware of, like, you know, the whole Jedi story and the fall of the Jedi. She quickly becomes aware of that, and when the Jedi Council allows her back into the Jedi Council, she declines and decides to leave. She's really seeing that the Jedi really are not as great as she once thought that they were. Again, a foil to Anakin, but in Season 7 of Clone Wars, we see Ahsoka come back in the aid of Mandalore, as requested by Bo-Katan, to help take back Mandalore from Maul. Once Order 66 happens, she ends up faking her death with Rex and goes into hiding. Ahsoka helps start the rebellion under the codename Fulcrum, and we see her again in the Rebels TV show. There's a lot that I can get into with Ahsoka. Her arc is very tragic. It's just like Anakin's. They're perfect foils for each other. Let's get back to The Mandalorian. So we see Ahsoka expertly wielding her white lightsaber, seeing her in real life. Like, I like have chills talking about it right now. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but like just remembering it, I have chills because I was just like blown away. Our very first scene where Ahsoka talking to the magistrate, looking for an information, and we don't know what this information is at this point. She basically tells the magistrate, I'll be back tomorrow. And something that's really cool in this episode, like the way they took this Japanese inspiration, this like feudal era Japan, and they applied it to Star Wars aesthetic. It was just like amazing to see. Everything, the whole details, like the silhouettes of the buildings, the wall, gong, the lanterns, like everything had a Japanese inspiration to it, but it was done in a Star Wars style. So the symmetry in this episode was beautiful, like symmetry everywhere. I think that there's a lot more symmetry happening in this episode other than visually, and we'll get into that. The world of Corvus is just so grimy and yellow and foggy, and it is just so gross. I love it. It's probably my favorite planet. So Mando shows up on Corvus, and it's pretty clear that the city is under hostage. Nobody will talk to him. As soon as he walks into the town, everyone kind of clears out. And we see that the magistrate is torturing people outside of her house. I was definitely shocked at how dark this episode got. Mando walks in to see the magistrate, and in a disgusting show of wealth, we see the magistrate lives in this beautiful, lush, Japanese-style garden, and the magistrate offers Din a job to take care of her problem, the Jedi. She offers a spear of pure Beskar as payment. There's some speculation on the magistrate being a Ming Po. I found this on Reddit, by the way. Ahsoka has mentioned that the magistrate has had her people basically slaughtered during the Clone Wars by the Mandalorians. See an example of this with Ming Po. Ming Po are people that we see in Season 4 of Clone Wars, where the Death Watch is basically holding a city hostage, and Ahsoka is revealed to be a Jedi that helps save them. In that episode, Ahsoka doesn't reveal herself to be a Jedi until the very end, and this episode is called The Jedi, and it's kind of like this reveal of it, and it's Ahsoka. And so that's why I'm bringing it up. They have like face tattoos too. I don't know, it's speculation. That's why we're all here, right? For my hot takes. In my notes, I wrote symmetry with like a winking face. So Din is on his way to meet Ahsoka, and he's walking through the forest, and we get a really quick glimpse of what I think is a convor. Convors are birds that have a strong connection to the forest, but this one specifically caught my eye because I think that this one is Morai. And Morai is a bird that follows Ahsoka around I'm gonna reference Clone Wars again, and this is the Mortis arc. Ahsoka basically dies in the Mortis arc, and the daughter, who is the living embodiment of the light side, gives her life force to Ahsoka. So Ahsoka basically lives because of the daughter. A lot of people say that Morai is the embodiment of the daughter, but no, Morai is just a bird that has like a really strong attachment to the daughter, and now Ahsoka. Morai accompanies and watches over Ahsoka for most of her life, and Ahsoka also claims that Morai has saved her life on more than one occasion, so they have like a really strong connection. And as soon as I saw that little bird in the tree, I was like, that's Morai! It's confirmed. We're confirming it. Din and Ahsoka have a little fight because Ahsoka doesn't know who this guy is. She's like, here comes a Mandalorian to kill me. And we also get to see for the first time in the show that lightsabers can't cut through Beskar. And I wonder if that's foreshadowing something. Din tells her that Bo-Katan sent her, and do you guys remember Bo-Katan? Neither. And then we get this beautiful shot of Ahsoka and the child, and it is just such a beautiful shot. It is, the samurai movie inspiration is so strong here. Her and Baby Yoda are having like this moment with each other, and it's very, very sweet. We see Ahsoka smile, and my friend pointed out that this might be the first time that Ahsoka has smiled in a really long time, which honestly made my heart hurt so bad. And we get a name for Baby Yoda, and it's Grogu. And we also get backstory on Baby Yoda. We learn that he's gonna be Baby Yoda forever. But we learn that Baby Yoda was actually raised on Coruscant and was learning to use the Force by many different Jedi. By the end of the Clone Wars, Baby Yoda was taken into hiding, and then from there, the last few years have just been really dark and sad and full of fear, and it's just really sad, actually. I'm like, Ahsoka tests Baby Yoda, and he doesn't want to do it, so she has Din step in, and there's this moment where Din goes, oh, he's stubborn, and Ahsoka goes, no, you, and it is just such an Ahsoka moment. Okay, snips. So Din and Grogu play their very first game of catch, and Daddy Din is so excited and so proud of his son for using the Force, and this is where Ahsoka says that she won't train him. She won't separate this child and this father. She says that Baby Yoda's attachment is too strong. She's seen what attachment and fear can do to a Jedi, the best of them, and we all know that she's talking about Anakin Skywalker, and she literally referred to Anakin as the best of them, and I'm crying again. Like, and Din tells her, yo, I was sent here to kill you from the magistrate, but if you help me with the child, I'll help you with your problems. So they team up together. A Mando and a Jedi, they'll never see it coming. And then there's a moment where Ahsoka is like fighting these like alien droid henchmen people on the wall, and she uses the Force to take one of their guns away, fights someone else, turns back and looks at the guy and does like a little like head tilt, and it was just so Anakin of her. It was just such an Anakin moment, and I just love seeing a little bit of Anakin in Ahsoka because it's there. Like, Anakin was her mentor, her best friend, and her brother. So the moment when Ahsoka walks out and has a face-off with the magistrate, it is so cool. Like, the way she walks, the way she stands, it's just cool to see like her montrails and her silhouette and the way she stood there. Like, Ahsoka has a very specific way that she stands and holds herself, and I think that Rosario Dawson captured that so well. So it is just such a feudal era Japan movie, like The Wandering Stranger, which Westerns take a direct inspiration from, so I think it's cool that we're getting the inspiration of the inspiration of the inspiration for the show. So we get to the climax of the episode, and it is a very slow burn, and you guys know I love a good slow burn. Two different standoffs. We're getting a very samurai focused standoff, and then we're getting like your classic Western shoot off, and it's happening at the same exact time, and it is just so beautifully integrated. Like, it is just so well done. And the lightsaber fight between Ahsoka and the magistrate is just so cool to watch, because instantly I was like, this is a callback to the original trilogy. That very methodical, thought out. It wasn't so much of like the fancy lightsaber tricks, and it was very old school Star Wars, and I thought that was really cool to see. Very well done, very intense. And I think it's just another example on how Dave Filoni has really shown that he knows what to do with Star Wars. Because originally George Lucas, he wanted the Jedi to be like samurai. I think that Dave Filoni has really honored that. So Ahsoka wins against the magistrate, of course. It's Ahsoka Tano. Though there was actually a second there where I was like, we find out who the magistrate's master is, and guess what? It's THRAWN. Like, THRAWN is from Legends. He got brought into canon during Rebels, the TV show, and he's just like a really cool villain. And the thing with THRAWN is we know that THRAWN was last seen with Ezra, so it makes me wonder if Ezra and THRAWN are together. So that makes me wonder if she's still looking for Ezra. It's gonna be like a season 3 thing. Or a spinoff, we'll see. Din levels up, he gets the Beskar staff, and then we get a really sad, sweet moment where Din realizes that he has to give the child to Ahsoka, and it's so sad when he says bye to him and he just sits with Baby Yoda. He takes him from his little hammock and just sits there with him, and it's like, and then Ahsoka comes in and says, "You're like a father to him, I won't train him." And I just wanted to point out what someone said on Twitter. I retweeted this, so if you guys want to read the whole thread, I highly suggest you do, because this person goes into way more depth than I do. There is significance to Ahsoka saying you're like a father to him, and it goes deeper than Daddy Din raising Baby Yoda, because the whole thing about the Skywalker trilogy is family. And so the original Sin of Star Wars was separating Anakin from Shmi, his mother. It is the one thing that set Anakin on his path to darkness. Even in the Ahsoka book that I'm reading right now, they talk about this. That's the original Sin of Star Wars. By Ahsoka not separating Din and Grogu, it's her way of trying to make amends for the Sin of Star Wars. And that is not to break the attachment between father and son. I think if Ahsoka has learned anything from not being a Jedi to like becoming a Jedi again, it's that the Jedi are all about not forming attachments, but I think Ahsoka has learned that it's even more important to not break those attachments, because that is literally Anakin Skywalker's downfall. So in this scene when Ahsoka is talking to Din and Grogu is like holding his hand, and you can see Din kind of like pulling his hand back, and it literally, I'm tear-medding, I'm crying, I'm sobbing, I'm screaming. He loves Baby Yoda. He seriously loves Baby Yoda so much. You can't separate them. Ugh, my heart. Ahsoka tells Din to go to the planet of Tython, where Baby Yoda will choose his fate. If Baby Yoda reaches out through the Force, then hopefully a Jedi will come and find him. And then Baby Yoda and Ahsoka have this little exchange. Our final shot is Ahsoka standing there watching them fly away, and she just has this moment of calmness. To me, it's just hope. And I really think that that is probably the first time Ahsoka has felt hope in a long time. And then we're off to the next episode. I just wanted to give you guys some really quick final thoughts. I just want to say that I think Rosario Dawson killed it as Ahsoka. There's certain things that were just so Ahsoka, like the way she stood and crossed her arms, certain mannerisms where I'm like, okay, Rosario, like you definitely studied Ahsoka. The way that she stood was very Ahsoka. I know in the gallery show, Kathleen Kennedy talks about how every character has a silhouette, and they got Ahsoka's silhouette down perfect. I don't know, there was like a certain sadness about Ahsoka that I thought was really appropriate. I was kind of expecting Ahsoka to be more of like an old sage kind of character. Like I was expecting more of like an Obi-Wan kind of vibe. But yeah, I'm really excited to see more of her. It was a very exciting episode for me. I was surprised on how short her montrals were, and I know that's kind of like a big topic online right now, and it came out that in terms of like doing stunt work, it didn't make sense for her to have long montrals. But we have CGI. So that was the only thing that threw me off, but I can get over it really quick. I know a lot of people are saying that it looked really cheap. I thought it looked great. I do have a critique of the show, and I just want to say that that doesn't mean that I don't love the show as much as I do, and I think that it is okay to critique something that you love. So don't come for me. Actually, come for me. I wish that we had more of Din and Baby Yoda. I just feel like every episode has been not about them. We had an episode that was like 30 minutes long, but you could have filled that space up with Baby Yoda and Din. Someone tweeted they would like if the show focused more on the Mandalorian rather than giving characters spin-offs. And I absolutely agree with them. This was really setting up Ahsoka for a spin-off. I thought that, do you guys remember Boba Fett was in this season? Like, no. And that's the thing, is like we're getting so many name drops and so much stuff from Legends, which is really, really cool. But like, I also wish that it was balanced a little bit more with our characters. And I know that this is an action show. Like, I know this isn't like a character study. I guess that's my only criticism of the show. We have like 3 more episodes left, and they're going to be very plot driven because they have to be. Like, where else are we going to go from here? Where else are we going to go from here? I just want to see more Daddy Din and Baby Yoda being father and son. All in all, I have to say that this was my favorite episode. I quickly wanted to give a shout out to the Baby Yoda Social Club. You guys are my favorite people ever. I also want to give a shout out to the people that have reached out to me after every single episode and want to talk about legends and throw theories at each other. You guys know who you are, and I'm definitely talking about you guys. And if you guys want to talk to me about Star Wars, leave a comment down below. Let's talk, let's hang out. I'll have my social medias linked down below too, and we can talk about Star Wars together. I'm having so much fun. I love connecting with you guys. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I love hanging out and talking about Star Wars with you guys, and I will see you guys very soon. This is the way.